was Amy Pond in Doctor Who and Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm super excited to be talking to you.
Thanks, I'm excited to be talking to you.
So first I want to say I'm a huge fan. I know your time is limited here, and it's just amazing that you took some of that time to come.
Absolutely, I'm honoured that you want to talk to me on your YouTube channel, which everybody watches, I hear.
So I really loved your story arc on Doctor Who. It was some of the best storytelling on the show. It seemed like the show really became about you and Rory's love story. The Doctor's almost like a companion. So did you know that you were going to be like such an important character when you signed up?
I had no idea that the story would take such a twist and become this kind of epic love story between Amy and Rory, but what was really interesting was like the Doctor, his character could flip between being like our parent and then our son in the matter of like a few scenes, so it was pretty funny to play around with that.
So I feel like the Doctor kind of fell in love with Rose towards the end of her time with him, but he didn't know what love really was all about. And then he saw you and Rory and he learned what it could really be like. Was that something important to you guys while you were shooting?
I guess it would have been important to Matt, his version of the character. We didn't really talk about that actually, but that's a really good point now that you raise it. Yeah, I think we really did show the Doctor what a sort of love story can really be and what love is between two people and sacrifices that one would make for each other.
So the ending of your time with the show was really sad. I cried myself to sleep that night.
I'm sorry.
But it was really perfect for you and Rory to go together like that. I read that there were several other endings discussed before that one was picked. Can you tell me some of the other endings that you came up with and why you chose that one?
So basically it's all down to Stephen Moffat, who is the showrunner of Doctor Who, and it all comes from his mind. And I think he always had this plan, but he was trying to throw people off track and make us think that it was going to be a different ending. So we did not know what the ending was going to be, and he kept the scenes, like the text, away from everybody so that nobody knew what was going to happen. So it was just a huge mystery, and we were coming up with all sorts of theories, and nobody guessed that we would go the way we went. But I'm so glad that we did, because we got displaced in time, so we actually had our happy ending in a weird way.
So you played Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy, which was really awesome, and it was amazing. I loved it.
Thank you.
So after watching you for so long on Doctor Who, I can hardly recognize you when you were in Guardians of the Galaxy, partially because of all the makeup, and partially because your acting was so different. So did you choose that to kind of get away from Amy? Because my dad watched some of the Broadchurch, and all he could see was Rory and the Doctor there. So did you do that because you wanted to stray away from Amy a little bit, or is it just a little accident?
It was just a little accident. I mean, like, I just knew that I was going to be working with Marvel on this new franchise, and that was like just the most exciting thing in the world to me. I was like, no matter what I was doing, even if it was the same character, I would have done it because it was just so cool. It just so happens that Nebula is a big departure for me, which is really cool. And yeah, I had the luxury of a lot of makeup to help me depart, whereas I feel like Arthur and David in Broadchurch still had their faces to contend with.
I also read that you directed a short film that actually won the Best Independent Short Film.
Yes, you've done your research.
What was it like being on the other side of the camera? I learned to shoot and edit my own videos, and it's very different from just being recorded.
You edit your own videos?
I've been learning how to edit.
How old are you?
9.
That's insane! You're amazing. I love being on the other side of the camera. There's something just so comforting about it, to be honest. You're not on show. But I just love being involved in the whole creative process from start to finish. It's really fun being an actor, but you are only involved in the bit that you're involved in, you know, and then you're kind of at the mercy of people editing you and stuff like that. So it's really great that you get to do that yourself. I mean, I want to do that myself, and that's why I kind of want to be behind the camera for a little while. I
would feel like it would be interesting to see your ideas come to life on the show instead of you playing as a character.
Right, yeah. I think so too. That would be cool.
So when you did Nebula in the Guardians of the Galaxy, did you get actual battle training? Because the fights were really interesting, and doing battle training and stuff seems like the most interesting thing to do.
Yeah, it's really fun. Have you ever done any martial arts or anything?
Yes, I did jiu-jitsu at a yoga.
Really?
Wow. 3 years maybe?
Wow, that's great. Yeah, so it was kind of just like that. I've never done anything before. I couldn't even punch or kick. So basically I had this masterclass on learning how to fight people, and I did it for like 2 months in the lead up to the film, and then every day that I wasn't shooting I had to go in and learn this fight sequence, and the one that was with Zoe Saldana, who plays Gamora, and then she took about 2 days to learn it and I took about 2 months.
She might have done.
I think she's pretty good at that sort of stuff.
So we watched a video online of you learning how to drive on Confidential. It was really funny and you did awesome. What was it like to go so fast your first time driving and to ride with the instructor when he was going crazy?
It was really scary. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the smoke, because I was going so fast. I was so scared. I've been on a lot of roller coasters in my life, but none were as scary as that. I mean, I'd never driven before, never been behind a wheel, and then I went 100 miles an hour, so that was pretty cool actually, but I wouldn't recommend doing that, ever. There was no traffic, so it made it a bit easier.
Do you drive now?
No, I haven't learned. That's ridiculous. When am I going to become an adult? Maybe never.
We also watched your episode of Tabletop with all the That was a pretty funny episode. So
yeah, it was good.
What was it like being in the game with all these people, seeing
Well,
the pirate accents and stuff?
It was so much fun. I love Will Wheaton. He's the greatest human. And I got there and I was like, oh, this is a serious game. I kind of just thought it was like some sort of jokey thing. And then I got there and they were like serious gamers. And I was like, oh, I really need to step up my game, because I didn't really know the rules.
Strategy is just pick a random card.
Yeah, I mean, I had to resort to just like doing that because I didn't know what was happening.
Are there any new projects you should be looking out for?
Yes, so I just shot a pilot for HBO called The Devil You Know, and it's about the Salem witch trials, which is really sort of interesting subject matter for me. And then also I shot a Western last year with John Travolta and Ethan Hawke, and that's going to be coming out late this year, I think. And other things. Another thing about tennis on HBO, look out for that.